So a couple quick product updates. In this one, there's like three stages to this. And I want to be clear at the top. One of the pieces of feedback that we have heard from you, our Pro Plus partners, my own team included, is like, hey, it seems like lately I used to get, I would get mostly warm transfers, and then I would get some number that weren't warm that OJO couldn't get a hold of. Seems like for some reason that number is increasing, and I'm now getting more people that OJO hasn't gotten a hold of. Like, can we go back the other way and get more warm transfers? And in the high level is like, you are not hallucinating. That is a real thing. Companies like ours are always testing different, call cadence strategies and call center strategies. And so I want to kind of walk you through changes we've made. There's some we've made in the last 24 hours that will make your experience better. You'll get more warm transfers. So when we launched Pro Plus, what you see at the top is what happened. We would call twice the first day, twice the second day, and a third time on the third day. Now, sometimes that third phone call may not go until the fourth day or the fifth day. And we heard a lot of feedback from you guys of like, hey, if you give me a lead and it comes in 4 or 5 days after they registered, it's kind of not worth anything. So we built a new piece of technology that said, hey, at the end of day one, the day zero is the day they come in. Day one is the day after the day they come in. At the end of day one, whether we get a hold of the lead or not, go ahead and make the intro to the Pro Plus team so that we're not creating so much latency between the time that they register on the site and the time that we intro to you. The result of that is that in the short run, you saw an increase in the number of people being introduced to your teams that we hadn't gotten a hold of. Now, since then, what we've done is we've actually added more dials in to those first 24 hours. And what we're seeing is that's now come back the other way, and it's decreased back the number of people that we haven't been able to get a hold of. So the net is very positive. The journey there was probably a little bumpy, but the net is we are now calling people the same number of dials, but smashing it into a shorter time, and we're still not holding on to the lead. So now you should get more warm transfers, and you should also get them faster than what you've experienced to date. And so we're going to continue to monitor this. This is something we're watching very closely. We will continue to iterate and improve this. And look, large call center companies like ours, they make these changes all the time. They don't normally communicate them. In the spirit of partnership, we want to over communicate. We want to be transparent. We want you all to understand what we're doing to create the best possible outcome for you. Now, the key thing to understand, and I need you all's help as leaders to get this message to your agents. You've all heard when you did your Pro Plus demo, we make up to 1 million dials a day. OJO has thousands of phone numbers that we're dialing from. When we're doing that, what's happening is every single day, carriers are blacklisting, blocking, marking as spam our numbers, and it lowers the answer rate on those numbers. And a lot of times it may take us hours or sometimes days to figure out that a number has been blocked, and it's because we're calling dozens of consumers and nobody's answering. So the reason that we do these non-live transfers is that we don't perfectly know. We know we tried to call the consumer. We don't know if their phone actually rang. And so what we see a lot of the time is we try to call them in that first day. They don't answer. We don't get to leave a voicemail. But then we give them to the agent, and the first call the agent makes, boom, it's like magic. The agent gets them on the phone right away. It's a great relationship, and they're rocking and rolling. So we're always trying to improve that. But I really want to help you all shift, because there are other lead generation companies that they give you a range of leads, and they say, hey, these are your introductions, right? Or these are your connections. And then these are like other leads. They're like nurture leads that there's probably not a lot of value in those because we've exhaustively called them. We're not calling them anymore. Throw them in your CRM and maybe something will happen with them. I want to be crystal clear that with the opportunities we're transferring you, these are very different. If you're getting a lead as a warm transfer or as a non-warm transfer, there's no difference in quality because you're still getting them quick. And then on the back of that, our team is going to continue to assist. So the concierge team is going to continue to follow up with those leads. and they're going to try and get that lead on the phone and get them connected to your agent. So make sure that you don't conflate what other lead generation companies do with OJO. Make sure your agents are being diligent in their follow-up with both live and non-live transfers. And punchline is, know that we are optimizing to get you the highest quality lead as fast as we possibly can at OJO. So next up, this one is really exciting. It's been a long time coming. This is going to ship in the next week and a half or so. And so the key thing here is I want to draw your attention to where it says CTA. Because what happens today is somebody goes on our website and they click schedule a tour, message an agent, request a showing, whatever they click. And sometimes they can even put a time in that they want to see the showing. Today, we don't give you any of that information short of whatever the CER tells your agent on the phone. Starting when this goes live, you're going to get an email with all that information so that you can parse it right into your CRM. And you're also going to get it in the lead offer screen. So when you're getting that lead offer, when your agents are getting that lead offer, they're going to be able to see, oh, cool, this client wants a virtual tour tomorrow at 2700 or whatever time this does. And so the idea here is that we're giving you more context. Now, what I want to help you understand and just set the table for is, this is us doing pre-work against future things that we want to do. Today, we really have 3 CTAs. We have schedule a tour, schedule a virtual tour, message agent, or request info. Okay. Imagine a world where we were generating a lead, which we do today, of somebody that was looking for a cash offer, and you had a cash offer specialist on your team. You would need us to be able to show you, hey, this is somebody looking for a cash offer, so that the right person on the team can accept that lead. So the reason I'm so excited about this seemingly simple piece of technology is it lays the groundwork for us to offer other lead types to our Pro Plus partners and really expand our audience. And we're pretty excited about that. So more to come with this. We'll keep you posted on when this actually ships and goes live. This is really the most important thing from today. And this is the next to the last thing before I get into our panel. What you're going to hear from our panelists is that the reason that they and other top teams are having success versus those who are not is that they are inspecting what they expect. To date for Pro Plus, which keep in mind, our first Pro Plus team was Chris and I. We launched in late March. We had 10 more teams that launched the first week of April. There's now 300 teams live. We've made almost 15,000 introductions. We have 1,300 people showing homes. We know that somewhere between a third and half of those showing homes will actually turn into closed transactions. And we already have 134 offers in contract. The reason I say inspect what you expect, this is a screenshot of my own team. I'm being transparent with you. And you can see, look how many leads there are that are inactive. Their milestone is inactive, and they haven't been updated in the OJO tools in 60, 70, 80, 90 days. I took my own advice, and we sat down with the team and we went line by line to every lead, and we opened them up in the CRM and we opened them up in our OJO dashboard, and we looked at them, and guess what we found? From time to time, agents forgot to do things. They forgot to follow up. There were leads that hadn't been touched in a month or two. And as soon as we started to reach out to those people, it was like finding little nuggets of gold. And the key is especially when you're getting the volume of leads that a Pro Plus team is getting, it is really easy to just focus on the latest, hottest one. And you have to remember the majority of your closings are going to come between month like 6 and 9 after the introduction. And so as a team leader, it is critical that you roll up your sleeves, you get in your CRM, and you go line by line, lead by lead, and you help your agents be massively accountable. Okay. The teams that are doing that are the ones that are having massive success, because this is what happens all too often is we get a team leader, but they get on a call with their success manager and they say, hey, my agents are saying the leads aren't good. And we go, well, that's interesting. Let's look at it. Can you open up your CRM and let's just see what's happening in the CRM? And we go through about a dozen leads, and of those dozen, 8 or 9 of them haven't been touched in 60 days in the CRM. I guess I need to go talk to my agents about working these. And the reality is, it's a really simple concept that you could write down. It's called PTFAR. Your programming leads to your thoughts, leads to your feeling, leads to your actions, leads to your results. So if your programming is hey, I don't know about these internet leads. I'm not sure how they're going to work for me. You think that I'm not sure how internet leads are going to work for me. Your feeling is that maybe the leads aren't that good. So you take actions like the leads aren't that good, meaning you don't follow up with them. And guess what? You get poor results, which reinforces your programming that the leads aren't great. Our job as leaders, your job as team leaders, is to interrupt that pattern of thinking and say, no, there are people across the country having massive success in this. There are people in our own market. I sent some information to a top team in Nashville last week that it's like, hey, we have the OJO Select Network are beating your massive number one team in the market in conversion. This isn't a leads issue. This is a motivation and accountability issue. And so this is our job as leaders, is to help shape the thinking of the agents on our team. And that's why we want to continue to share evidence of success with you. So along the line of evidence of success, here's our leaderboard. These go out via email every 2 weeks. Sarah holds me accountable to doing them with her and then gets them out for us. And what you'll see is we now have teams that have eclipsed the 50% mark in showing homes rate. Now, I know a lot of you probably, when we were originally telling you the top teams would get to 50%, you're like, yeah, right. Here you go. There's now 3 teams, one that's above 50 and 2 that are well within striking distance of 50%. And then we have a number of other teams that are deep into the 30s that will, as those leads mature, will easily get into the 40 and low 50% range. There is tons of opportunity within these leads. And so congratulations to these folks. And as you scroll down this leaderboard, we send you a live link. You should be curious where your team stacks up. And if you are kind of on the bottom of the list and you've got a lot of opportunities, it's not likely that your team isn't doing the right things and showing houses. It's likely that either A, they don't exactly know how to use the tools, and maybe you need a reboot with your success manager so they know how to use them. Or B, they're doing a lot of what agents naturally do, which is they try to get people pre-qualified. They try to get them working with a lender. They try to do other things before just going and meeting these people in person. And we have to help them break that cycle. In fact, I was just looking at a team in Little Rock earlier today, and it was the same thing. Like, hey, we don't have any showing homes. Well, I went through the concierge notes. They have 4 people working on financing of the last 10 leads that they got and no showing homes. It tells me that they haven't yet mastered the connect, set, learn playbook that you guys are going to hear about from this top team. The other thing is I want to congratulate the teams on the right. We're going to start to talk more about closings. You've got the Clarkson Realty Group with 5 in contract and close. You've got Michelle Cantrell's team and the Karen Nguyen Real Estate Network, both at 4 transactions in contract or close. And then we have an 8-way tie for third place. We have 132, and this data is actually now a week old, 132 deals that are either in contract or closed. And the other thing I'm just going to remind you of is what we're starting to see is now we'll look at a team stats. The success manager is going over it with the team leader. And, it's like, geez, we don't have deals in contract. What's going on? And then you scroll down to the concierge notes. And I saw one of the first ones today where there's an escalation from the concierge because the consumer told us they bought a house with the agent. The agent didn't update the agent tools. We sent the agent a note to update the agent tools. And the agent basically sent back to the note saying, they left like a kind of a nonsensical answer that our person can understand. So now it'll get escalated to you, the team leader, to say like, hey, the consumer told us they bought with your agent. Can you please go have a conversation with your agent? If you are holding them massively accountable and going line by line through the leads, you will discover that before we will discover that. And so it tells me there's an accountability opportunity there.